farmers, welcome back to Goldcrest Valley. May has arrived and the weather is looking good. Good enough to make some hay bales today. That's what we'll be focusing on this morning. Still waiting for the silage to completely ferment over here at the cow barn before we can go ahead and sell that directly. So we can earn enough cash to buy the grass field that I'm facing right ahead of us. Need $192,000, we'll call it. And that should not be a problem, I would think, with the silage bales. Or just silage. We're not making bales with the silage, but I got bales on my mind. Want to make those hay bales because I need some feed. I gave the sheep water overnight at 1 hour before midnight, so 11 p.m. And woke up this morning at 8, and they were out of water. So I don't know. It's almost like I need an automatic watering trough system. Yeah, I don't know. They're going out of water pretty darn quick. Bringing the belt down here. Now, I have returned the water tanker for the sheep. The heck did I just pick up? Oh, I bet you that picked up manure when I went past the manure pit. But, yeah, I went ahead and returned the water tanker, so I got two leased items. One is the belt, and the other one is the butterfly mower, which I'm hoping to use later on this month for this grass field here that we don't own yet. So I got one free item I can lease. And so the funny thing is, I woke up this morning as well, not just to find the sheep out of water, but checking the store page. And remember, we had that small mower that was for sale in the store. I'm like, yeah, keep giving me the small ones. Well, they gave me a mower in the store page for sale, but it's the big Krone M, the one I said we really don't need. I don't have the money to buy it anyways. It's still $205,000, and I definitely would rather buy the big grass field. And buying the big Krone M without the big grass field, that's kind of like, what's the point? And in the long run, I don't think we need the big Krone M here anyways, because once I start doing silage, I'll probably be doing it with corn chaff. Stopping at the main store here because I want to reconfigure the Massey Ferguson. It's got narrow tires on it, but since I'm going to be doing field work, let's go ahead and put the wide tires with weights on it for free again. Customized, thank you. And we'll pick up our front loader once again, and we are good to go. Nice clean tires on a dirty tractor. The 9RT still sits here with the drill and everything. So all the equipment should be up by the sheep. Let's go ahead and grab the tedder so we can ted the clover and alfalfa. Turn it over to hay. Then, of course, we got to windrow it. And then, of course, we'll bale it. Then I got to lease the baling trailer. And we'll put those away in the sheds. Probably all of it will go up at the sheep because they're going through it a little bit more. And the cows, they don't need as much. The sheep are going through it a little bit more and more and more. Actually, I probably should just drop off the front loader as well while I'm up there. Might just keep getting in the way. Let's turn up here. I think I just saw the train go on through, so shouldn't have to worry about that. There should be some quick work. And of course, also later on this month, got to go ahead and take care of the weeds in the corn, sunflower fields, and soybean fields. Because we planted those last month, so weeds should be about. Please tell me the... Yes, the tedder is here. The windrower is actually down at the cow barn because that will not fit up here. Let me go ahead and detach that. Okay, probably got to move the baler just a little bit. So I would sell some sheep this morning if there were any that are worth 1,000, but their health dropped down to 50% because, like I said, ran out of water. And it's not because the water tanker isn't big enough, it's the water trough doesn't hold enough for the amount of sheep that we have here. So I could just keep, selling a lot of sheep and maybe not have a full sheep pen, but then I won't get as much wool. I don't know. Or I'm just going to have to stay up here and make sure I give the sheep water every like 6 hours or so. Nice big tedder, so this job shouldn't take me too long. And away we go. And then, of course, we'll have to mulch the field, but that doesn't have to be done right away, because it takes a while for this clover and alfalfa to start regrowing. We can see the texture of the clover up here. Interesting crop for sure, but we would definitely benefit a lot better if the field was grass, because we would get 3 cuts in a year compared to 1. And since the yield rate is the same between grass and clover, yeah, I could have 3 times as much grass up here. But we're going to keep it clover and alfalfa because we're, you know, it's an interesting crop is the way we're going to put it. Getting the occasional spots as to where the tedder doesn't turn all the material underneath it to hay. Had a couple of patches there. We've seen it on just about every map I've been on in FS22. Didn't notice it that much in 19 of that happening. In 17, it happened often enough as well. But the thing is, when the windrower goes through and puts it all into a row, I think it'll convert it all over to hay anyways. I'm noticing a little bit difference, I think, between the clover and alfalfa. It seems like the alfalfa, when I turn it over to hay, seems a little bit more fluffier, I guess is the word I'm going to use. Seems like it covers more of the ground area when I turn it over. Now I think from now on, I'm going to park the tedder and the windrower down at the cow barn instead of up at the sheep pen. Just that'll give me a little bit more room for the hay bales up at the sheep. Plus, having the tedder in one area and then the windrower in the other, I'll just keep forgetting of which one was which and where. Not that it's far apart, but, you know, it should keep them together anyways. And maybe in the future I'll have another shed up at the sheep pen where I can park this equipment. Going to do a lot of switching around with the leased equipment today because I got to keep the belt. I don't really, well, I kind of need to keep the butterfly mower. I'm just trying to save the expense of, you know, sending it back just to lease it again, you know, in a few hours. If I can do it all, because I got a lot of work to do before we actually cut that grass. A lot of work. So it's going to be lease an item, return an item. Lease an item, return an item. Alright, let's go put this into the cow shed. And we'll grab the windrower and get these fields windrowed rather quickly. I mean, I really could just use the front end loader on the Massey Ferguson, pick up the bales, but I think I had about 8 bales last time. I mean, I could save myself the expense of leasing the bale loader. Yeah, we'll see how many bales we end up making. If I don't make that many, then it might be just easier to use the front end loader to pick them up. I don't have to pick them up today. And while I'm going past here, Massey Ferguson doesn't require that much diesel, but we're here. And I think it won't be until about noon before the grass has been fermented over to silage. Oh, and the one thing I haven't shown yet, and I kind of don't remember myself since I was recording last episode, is how much electricity do we still have? Yeah, this number is going up. So I'm producing more methane than the power company can handle. And we still got a good amount of silage up there. No more silage is at the BGA. That's just what we put in there before, still processing. Cows may look like they don't have a whole lot of food, but we don't have a whole lot of cows to begin with. And next time I cut this grass field right here, the smaller one, I may make more hay bales. You can see the sunflowers behind us, oops, have grown. If I can find my way around here. They are looking good. We should have weeds here. Yep, we can see some weeds. Looking good. Crop rotation 110%. And the cornfield, trust me, it's growing. So both these fields need to be weeded. I may hire Frank and company to go ahead and do that. Maybe later on as I'm mowing the grass field. Which probably won't be until next episode. But we shall own that grass field this month. But there's a lot of prep work I need to do after buying it. We got to get some soil sampling done into it so we can get the yield up quite a bit. Probably spread some lime into it. Fertilizer as well would be needed. Get the yield up really, really high. That way we can benefit and probably get, I don't want to say most of our money back on the first grass cut, but it's going to be pretty darn close. Okay, maybe half of it back. I hope to get about 500,000 liters of grass off that field. Alright, let's jump the curb here. I kind of laughed to myself when I slept through the night, woke up in the morning, and saw the big Krone M in there for sale after I said, yeah, we're not looking forward to buy that at all in this series. And then the store was like, well, you wanted a bigger mower, here you go. It's like, yeah, not that big, please. And this field here, I'm still unsure if I want to keep it or turn it into something else. It's just a small field, as you can tell. I just don't know what I would do with it. I mean, I could just sell it and get some money back on it and buy a bigger field and put alfalfa in a bigger field. But then, like I said, we only get one cut on it per season. Sound like grass where we get 3. And I would hate to put alfalfa, since we already got a clover field that's pretty decent size, and take up another field of just making hay with it. But if we need the hay, we need the hay. But right now, I think we're doing okay with the hay. What do you say? Alright, I'll stop doing that. kind of interesting. I was looking at the swaths. Of course, this is a meadow grass right there, which we don't do anything with. So the yield on that should be kind of low. And then when we get up to the clover here, you can see the swath is not as big as the meadow grass, where it's not even in a field. So I'm not even sure if this is yielding as good as grass does. I'm not sure. But we're still going to rock and roll with it. We'll see how many bales we get off the field this year. I think last year, you got to remember, this was... I forgot what crop this was last year, but this was not clover all the way up to here last season. This is the first year we've had a full big field of clover. So I'm hoping for, I don't know, maybe 10 or 11 bales off this field. Maybe asking too much? I mean, I really want a lot more than that, but I'm keeping my my number low. That way, if it goes over that, I can be excited about it. Because the sheep are going through the feed quite quickly. If I can keep water in their trough, that'd be great. Having a hard time doing that. Also having a hard time trying to get this in one more pass. Now you can see I'm grabbing some grass on the side, and when it gets... I don't know if it's getting deleted or is it being merged in with the clover, not too sure. Might be getting deleted completely. Or it's converting it all over to clover. One or the other. So I'm going to actually call that good on windrowing. Let's go ahead and fold that up, and I'll put it over to the side for now. The baler is, of course, it's right over here. And let's start making some bales. And I can leave the bales here for, you know, a month or whatever. They'll be fine. I was going to get back into this field at some point in the next month or two and mulch it on down. So it can eventually start regrowing like in August or September. I think before it really turns back to growing. Not a good place to park the front loader and everything, but we made it on through. It's got straw in here, so I wonder if it'll convert it on over. And let me just double check to make sure we're at 180 centimeters, which we are. Well, I probably should turn on automatic drop also. Looks like it converted it right over to clover, so that's good. So we kind of cheated some straw into some clover. Filling up nicely. Part of me thought for a little while of bringing the mod over that I've been using. Well, I've only used it once or twice on Oceanside Forest for the bigger bales. And then I thought, no, we don't make enough bales here. Probably to even make one if I did that. So that first bale I don't want to really count because we almost had a full bale anyways. But I can get a good idea. So I'm probably going to be making, what, 2 bales per row? 2, 4, 6, well, 8. That's 8 there. Yeah, I think a dozen bales should be achievable here. And if the baling trailer doesn't come up for sale and I can afford it, I think I'll just use a front end loader to pick up the bales and put them away. Oh, I don't own that property right there. Boundary line's awfully close. I'll just use the front end loader to pick up the bales and stick them into the sheep shed over there. How big are these bales? Are they still 9,000? Looks like they're going to be. It's a pretty good sized bale. So is that my first one in this row? Yes, it is. I guess the yield could go down as well, depending what type of soil is underneath us. So the yield's going to be affected across the field itself. Starting to think that cutting the grass is giving me hay fever in real life. For some reason, I've been sneezing a lot trying to record this episode, so you're probably going to see a lot of time lapses. Not really sure. Maybe my screen has become a real scratch and sniff kind of a screen to where the scent is just coming through. I have no idea. Kind of interesting when I'm picking up this grass here that it's not converting the bale over to grass as, you know, I thought it would. But it's staying as clover. Even when I pick up the grass here, or hay, but it's grass hay. Oh, now it shows grass hay there. Alright. Well, it didn't before. But it should switch right back on over to clover here very soon. Hopefully. Well, it doesn't make any difference, honestly. We'll see how many bales we made here. I kind of forgot to reset the bale counter. But I can go into the session that we're on and see how many bales we made. I think it's going to be more than what I said, which is, well, what I was really hoping for. And yeah, we still got the alfalfa field of bales still. And we're almost at the top of the hour, so our wonderful power company can bring us in like $1,000 or $1,200. And I'm just a little bit disappointed in that, if you haven't been able to tell since we've gotten it. Just a little bit disappointed it's not doing a little bit better. So how many bales have I made so far off this field here? 17 bales. Not too bad. I just realized I have played 76 hours on this map. Okay. Sometimes those stats can shock you with the numbers of how long you've been doing something or how many products you made. Kind of interesting. But 17 bales off this field, and I'm probably going to get like 3 or 4 maybe off the other one. That may require me to get the baling trailer. Yeah, let's just do a hop, skip, and jump over the railroad tracks. I think the train just went... No, it didn't. I've been nicked a few times by the train, but not yet once have I went to cross tracks and, you know, really gotten hit by it pretty good. So this should switch over to alfalfa at some point. Probably not this bale. So we should end up with like about maybe 22, 24 bales somewhere in there. Don't have access to this land, don't have access to that land. Yeah, so if anyone does have any ideas what I could do with this small piece of property right here, other than keeping it as alfalfa, let me know if you have any quick ideas. It's just getting to be a small field to work with, that's all. Now, if I was still on Solyndra, this would be a nice sized field, but we're in Goldcrest Valley, so... And I don't think putting a regular crop on here would be any better, because with a harvester and header that we got, it'd be like 3 or 4 passes and I'm done. Oops, didn't think I was going to be full, but we are. I mean, I guess I could sell it and just buy another, just a little bit bigger field and put alfalfa in that one. I mean, this field wasn't that expensive to begin with. But of course, our main focus is going to be buying the bigger grass field after we sell the silage. And once we get that all squared away, we can kind of see where our money sits. Now, actually, this baler here, the round baler, I don't usually prefer, just because you got to stop and wait for the bale to unload. But since we're not doing that many bales here, it's not that bad. But if I were making like silage bales in the grass fields that we had, instead of using silo bunkers, I definitely would want a square baler. But getting these bales just in time, because I think I only got 2 bales left up at the sheep pen. We don't have anything down at the cow barn. Okay, so I already got more bales here than I thought I would. I mean, the first one we kind of came down with from the other field, but still. 2, 3, 4, 5, working on our 6th bale. Yeah, that's going to be a full bale trailer for sure. And then a couple of extra. Still forget every once in a while when I hear that beeper just to stop and let it unload and just keep on going. So I don't think I'm going to get another bale off of what's on the field, but I will go around and pick up the little crumbs. Actually, it will disappear, because when I mulch the field, it should take it all on up. There's a big enough chunk down here we should get. Actually, a couple. There we go. So the alfalfa and clover fields have been harvested and baled, and like I said, we can pick those bales next month at a later date. No rush to get them picked up. Although if there was rain in the forecast, I'd probably try to keep realism a little bit, go around and pick them up and get them out of the rain. But right now, no rain in the forecast. So the baler probably should park on, keep the equipment on one side of the shed and put the bales on the other. Try not to park it in front of the mulcher, because I will need that before I need the baler again. And also, as I found out, baling straw worked out rather well last year, because I did not expect the Follow Me mod to know enough on a baler to stop and let it unload before it continues. So that was a nice little surprise last year. I'm trying to remember where I left my weed sprayer. So we ended up making 23 bales, by the way. Did I leave my weed sprayer? Yes, it is right there. All right, so let's head back to the farm. We'll put the narrow tires back on the Massey Ferguson. Don't really need to, because the crop in those fields that we're going to be working in to spray the weeds, they're only in the first growth stage. So I'm not going to really destroy the crop in them, but we will put the narrow tires on them. And the fields right here are all set. They've been sprayed already. I do like the look of the birch trees on the hill rather than the pines. Once we get probably through the month of May, because the afternoon of the month of May is going to be really busy, which will be next episode of taking care of the grass field and doing all the other work we need to do. I'm thinking in June we'll buy some more trees, 20 more saplings, we'll plant some more around the farmyard. Let me go ahead and change the tires first. And maybe while here, I'll go ahead and repair it as well. Customize, and we'll put you back on narrow tires. Should be for free. And while I'm here, let's go ahead and repair for $5.20. $1 for that, and $8 for that. Leave the front loader on, just to give us a little more weight on the front. And maybe while I'm here, I don't think we really need it, but I'm going to go ahead and top off our sprayer with some herbicide. I do that all the time. Okay, pick that up. Whoops, get back on the tractor. And then attach. And this should fill right on up. $1,500 we'll call it. Oh, looks like the sprayer may need to be repaired. I don't know if that'll help me save on the amount of herbicide that we're using, but... And let's see here. That's going to be $400 for that. But now everything is in tip-top shape. Now let's head on down and we'll get ourselves into the cornfield. And we'll start spraying that one.
The home, of course, of our Elm Creek Wolves. I'm Kerry, Harry, and hey, we got a game for you. You won't believe this.
Every time I drive past here and that announcement comes on, I think that's all it says. I'm trying to, pick up where are the speakers for that. And I never really catch completely what they were talking about. Although I think there's a reference to Harry Carey in there. Which, for those who don't know baseball, he used to be... Is he still the... I don't think he's the announcer anymore for the Chicago Cubs. I think he did retire. Actually, I think he may have even passed away. I have no idea. Been a while, but yeah, anyways. We're here to take care of our corn. This does remind me, I need to go on the Mod Hub and see if there's a See and Spot sprayer like the Rubicon, big size, for our series on Oceanside Forest. Which, by the way, I've been spending some time on that one, cutting down, you guessed it, some trees. Next episode, you'll see probably. Well, I don't want to give it away, but it's been quite a few trees I sprayed or sprayed. Yeah, I'm spraying now. Quite a few trees I cut down. So this corn here, currently this corn is just going to be cut this fall, and we'll sell that. I think it'll be a long stretch for us to get ourselves a forage harvester and turn it into chaff. But if somehow that happens, we would get ourselves a good amount of chaff and, of course, a lot of silage. The thing that I'm seeing is more silage is good for us in a sense, but not for the power plant. The power plant isn't really going through the methane that quick. So, I mean, we can still bring the silage up to the BGA and process it over to methane, and then I can sell the methane that way. But I think we'll be just cutting the corn and selling it whenever corn is good to be sold. Because I really have no idea when the best time is to sell corn. Of course, if you are playing on this map, I know the production buildings, which, you know, I kind of went over them at the beginning of the series a little bit. There are specialized production buildings here. I think corn, you might be able to go ahead and make popcorn. But you'd also need butter, I think. And maybe even some salt. I'm kind of trying to stay away from production buildings a little bit. I do like me production buildings, but once you get a lot of them and you really are rolling with the production buildings, it's like a whole other type of game that you're playing as well, because you got to keep up with the production buildings. Heck, even on Oceanside Forest, I only got a couple, and the sawmill is keeping me busy, and I got everything almost on auto sell on that one. But then again, Oceanside Forest now is not a series. In the beginning, it was a little bit, we need the money to buy the things that we need, but now it's a series of forestry to chickens. The money is not really an issue at all. So I gotta look back on the mod hub. I think I looked once before. I think it was on Hinterland when I looked for one. A see and spot sprayer like the Rubicon, if it's available, would be nice. Is that because we don't need an extra tractor for it? I don't have to keep switching out narrow tires on something. That's all it's really for. And on that series there, Oceanside Forest, money, like I said, is not really a problem. So I can go ahead and just buy whatever, whenever. This field here does need some lime. And I would like to get it done this month. But I gotta wait until we get the grass field. That's the really next thing I need to do. Because I don't want to lease the Bredel spreader and come in here and spread for lime, then have to return it. Then do everything I need to do to the grass field before I can put lime in that one, so I'd have to lease the lime spreader twice. I could use our Kubota sprayer, but that only holds currently right now like just under 4,000 liters. I could upgrade it to 10. But then I would go through it pretty quickly. Trying to see if I can get this done in one more pass. Probably not. But that's okay if it doesn't. See and spot sprayer only sprays where the weeds are. Yeah, so if we were to get out, you can see the pH value is just bad here. Bad, bad. And it'll be a very good yield if I go ahead and get the lime in the field. So we want to make sure we go ahead and do that. And this is one field done, 3 more to go on spraying for weeds. Got the small one behind us. We got the sunflower field here, and of course we got the soybeans down on Main Street that we got to take care of. I'll probably take care of the one right behind us really quick. And then I'll get Frank Company to go ahead and take care of the other 2 fields. While I sell silage, and that's where we'll probably be beginning next episode of me finishing up the sale of the silage. Actually, you know what? I'm going to park this right over here, and I'll set Frank off later on. But we can kind of get a good idea of how much longer I have to go. I think it's noon, so about another 3 hours or so. And then once we sell that silage, we're going to buy that field ASAP, as soon as possible. Soil sample it, and then see what it needs, which I'm sure it's going to need quite a bit. The one thing I didn't check, though, I wonder if it needs to be plowed. Of course, I don't want to plow it until I cut the grass. That'd be wasting a crop, even though it may not be in great condition. Let's bring the HUD up. This should be like 96%, 92%. Yeah, so somewhere around noon. And let me just double check on this field. I did not check to see if it needs to be plowed or anything. I don't know if it will tell me or not. Yeah, this says ready for harvest. The yield we can get up just by doing soil sampling. And then that should tell us. But it doesn't say needs to be plowed, limed, or anything like that. So I have no idea what condition that field's going to be in. But hopefully we get... I would like to see 500,000 liters off that field. I'll probably just put it right in this bunker right here, compact it. And then I'll figure out if I want to bring it to the BGA in the month of June or just sell it straight up. We'll have to wait and see. And I'll be using that more right there, hopefully. Yeah, you guys got enough food to get you on through. Actually, we're up to 22 cows. I think I have purchased maybe a dozen of them, so you guys are reproducing nicely. These are just beef cattle, not milking cattle. So when they get up to, I think someone said 3,500, we'll go ahead and sell them. I think we got a couple that are pretty close to that right now. But I'll probably wait until we get other things settled here. 3,200. Actually, they may have been up to 3,500. The value may actually be going down because they're getting older. I think someone said somewhere around 30 months is when I should sell them. So I don't know if their value is going down or not. Have no idea. As for sheep, do I got any sheep that are worth 1,000, but their health is only at 60%. So they need their health to get back up. It's all because of the water. They're going through the water so darn quick. But yeah, we see any sheep worth 1,000, we'll just start selling them all. And of course, the chickens are doing just fine there. But anyways, that's gonna do it for today, guys. Hopefully, you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in Goldcrest Valley. But until then, have a good one. Yeah, this field needs some lime as well.